Want to be connected to
Okay, I hope you can hear me now. Good afternoon, everyone. In fact, it's good evening now. As you know, I'm Claire White, Principal of the school, and I'm joined today by Mr. McAvoy, Patrick McAvoy, who's our Vice Principal. You're very welcome today. It's lovely to get an opportunity to speak to you, and I hope all of you and your families are keeping well. This is a very important meeting for yourselves in terms of updating you in terms of the options choices. It's a difficult time for pupils to try and make up their mind about what it is that they actually want to do. And I'm delighted to see so many of you here as parents this evening to listen in, and hopefully we can have a conversation about what's on offer. So if I could ask, this is being recorded, if I could ask that everybody just mutes and keep their cameras off as well, unless you want to be recorded. And that at an opportunity through this will last about half an hour to 45 minutes, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions if you need to. Mr. McAvoy will go through our pathways to success, the great range of subject choices that we have on offer here at level 2 and GCSE courses, and he'll also talk about career progressions through to employment, university, etc. And he will talk about the options process and the time frame for it. So I'm going to hand over now to Mr. McAvoy to take you through that. And as I said, there will be an opportunity to ask questions and to follow up. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick McAvoy, and I'm the Vice Principal here in De La Salle College. And on behalf of my colleagues, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you all to our Key Stage 4 Options evening. This evening, I'd just like to spend some time going through what our Key Stage 4 offer for next year is, the option form, and provide some guidance about our School Cloud event tomorrow, which is tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th of March, which will give you the opportunity to speak to subject teachers about the courses that might interest you. Now, choosing your subjects for GCSE is very important. Your sons are now going... Can I just ask, can you hear me, please? Just somebody respond.
Yes, I can hear you okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Yep.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Choosing the subjects for GCSE is very important. Your sons are now going to transition from one key stage to the next, which is Key Stage 4. And doing subjects at Key Stage 4 requires a higher, a new level of commitment, resilience, determination, and maturity. Over the next week or so, you'll need to think very carefully about what subjects to choose, as subject choices can now be made, can and will affect future career options. For example, you must study particular subjects at GCSE or level 2 in Key Stage 4 to gain admission onto certain courses at universities or other higher or further education institutes. And I'll give an example of this later. Okay. So in De La Salle, we have spent a lot of time devising a curriculum which allows each pupil to achieve success by following courses that are suited to their needs, abilities, and interests. All pupils should have the best opportunity to achieve their potential and to be properly prepared for the next stage of his life. De La Salle has extensively researched and carefully planned this curriculum to allow all of our pupils to achieve success. Okay, so we look at a son's achievements in all the subjects, his subject preferences, his career plan, indicative data such as say adaptive tests in English and maths, and cognitive ability tests, which show the most likely GCSE outcomes. We look at the Northern Ireland Skills Barometer report from the Department of the Economy and University of Ulster, which basically tells us what skills are going to be in demand over the next few years. We obviously take into account the views of parents and students themselves. And we also look at other schools' curriculum to make sure that we're not missing out, or they're not offering something that we're not, or whatever. Okay, so we do all that to recommend the most suitable pathway to allow every student to achieve success at GCSE or level 2 pathways. We have the text might be too small for you to read, but you can get an idea from the list of subjects in each pathway that the choice is extensive. Each pathway is named after a colour to represent the colours of our school. Blue is the global Lasallian colour associated with Lasallian schools all around the world, and it's also part of our post-16 uniform. Red and gold, also part of the uniform and reference throughout our school song, True to Our School. So, and the key thing here is no pathway is any better than the other. So for our blue pathway then, we have the core curriculum, and that includes GCSE English Language, GCSE Mathematics, GCSE Religious Studies, and GCSE English Literature. The pupils will also follow non-exam PE, non-exam careers, and non-exam learning for life and work. And then they will get to choose 4 options from a list of art and design, business studies, digital technology, multimedia, double award science, a double award indicating that it's worth 2 GCSEs, drama, geography, history, home economics, food and nutrition, Irish, media studies, learning for life and work, moving image art, music, PE, single award science, Spanish, technology and design. That's the subjects. They're all GCSEs, and they are all for the pupils who find themselves in the blue pathway. That equates to 8. The red pathway is a mixture of GCSEs and level 2 qualifications. I will speak more about what level 2 qualifications are in a few moments. So again, their core curriculum is GCSE English Language, GCSE Maths, GCSE RE, and GCSE Learning for Life and Work. They will also be doing non-exam PE and non-exam careers. And then they'll be able to choose 4 options: art and design, OCN level 2 certificate in business administration skills, BTEC first award in travel and tourism, drama, history, Irish, media studies, OCN level 2 certificate in IT applications, the OCN level 2 certificate in sport, motor vehicle and road user studies, that's a GCSE, moving image art, music, single award science, OCN level 2 certificate in applied science, and Spanish. And in addition, there's 2 other subjects that they could choose. They're called occupational studies. They're level 2 qualifications. And we offer in the red pathway the bench joinery and carpentry and joinery construction occupational study. And in the design and creativity strand, we're offering contemporary cuisine and patisserie and baking, which is a more practical element of home economics. And then in our gold pathway, again, this is a total, are offering 8 GCSEs or level 2s, mostly level 2s, but the core curriculum is very similar: GCSE English Language or level 2 essential skills, and GCSE Mathematics or level 2 essential skills. We're offering OCN certificate level 2 in RE, and a level 2 qualification in personal development and employability skills. That's delivered by an organization called the Princess Trust, and it's worth 2 GCSEs. And a qualification, a vocational qualification called Preparation for Adult Life, which is very similar in content to Learning for Life and Work GCSE. They also will get non-exam PE, non-exam careers, and there will be an enrichment program from time to time. We will be able to access a wide range of expertise of local organizations in the communities to come and teach things like team building skills and so on. And then they'll choose 2 options. Now, first thing anybody in the gold pathway will need to decide is, do they want to stay in school for all their courses, or do they want to go out on a day release to workforce? Because workforce offer mechanics, and construction. If you decide that you want to go to workforce, then that will be your curriculum. There will be no more choices that you will have to make. You'll be doing the core and then going to workforce, and that's it. In workforce, you do both mechanics and construction. It just depends what year you do them. So you'll do mechanics in year 11 and construction in year 12, or vice versa. That's for those, that includes going out 1 day a week to workforce to study those occupational studies. If you think you don't want to go to workforce, well, then you would stay here in school 5 days a week, just like everybody else. And your choices are, you will choose one occupational studies. Again, it'll be the bench joinery and carpentry and joinery strand, or contemporary cuisine and patisserie and baking. And then you can choose one more from a choice of OCN certificate in sport, a level 2 certificate in IT applications, a level 2 certificate in applied science, art and design, level 2 certificate in business administration skills, drama, Irish, moving image art, music, and then the occupational studies, bench joinery and carpentry and joinery, and the contemporary cuisine and patisserie and baking. We've put that in case for those students and those people who want to do both the construction and the cuisine occupational studies course. Okay, so when you receive your option form, then you will see what pathway your son has been placed. And I'll talk more about that shortly. So the course subjects, as it says, are subjects that everyone studies and they're compulsory. So there's no choice in those. It's very important that you select subjects that you choose to study from the list. And it is important to consider that the subjects you enjoy, the subjects that you're good at, the subjects that you need for a career path, what your teachers say, and what your parents say. And as we've just seen, each pathway has a wide range to choose from. The double award science, as I said earlier, is 2 GCSEs. If you wish to study this, you will select 2 more subjects only. Careers for double award science, for which double award science is needed, are anything medical, like a science degree, and some sports courses. Other courses include architecture and engineering, and some computer science courses also require double award science. So these courses that I'm referring to at the moment, these are courses which are offered at university level. So it's important now to be thinking of where you might see yourself in 5 years' time, because choices that you make now will have an influence on what you can or maybe cannot do when you go to want to go to university. For many students, the difference, you'll wonder what the difference is between GCSEs and level 2. And the main difference is how you're going to be assessed during your course. Generally speaking, level 2 courses are assessed mostly, but not exclusively, by coursework. There will be other differences in course content and what you have to do. Level 2 courses have been provided by educational providers and employers. They are fully endorsed by the Department for Education and develop additional skills in the pupils. They focus not so much on what the pupils can do or know, sorry, I'll start that again. They focus not so much on what the pupils can know, but what they can do. They're very relevant to a particular job sector and focus on the practical abilities you need to get a job in that sector. But you're not to take these distinctions between GCSEs and level 2s too literally. Vocational courses do, of course, require knowledge and understanding of the content. And some GCSEs also have a vocational flavour. It's a matter of emphasis and focus of each course. And here on the pathways to success, we're talking about what sort of pupils would succeed in the different pathways. For example, in the blue pathway, that's all GCSEs, a pupil looking to be in this pathway should be highly motivated, fully engaged in the curriculum, moving towards being an independent learner and getting consistent high grades and wants to go to university. A pupil who would be more suited to pathway red, which is a mix of the GCSE and the vocational subjects. Again, hardworking, that doesn't change. Of course, they need to be motivated, moving towards being an independent learner again, and wants to continue study beyond Key Stage 4. And then of our gold pathway, they're mostly vocational subjects with the option to attend workforce. Hardworking, of course, interested in more vocational subjects, more suited to practical activities, and wants to continue with work-related learning or to get an apprenticeship. Each pathway leads to 8 GCSEs or equivalent, and pathway blue may have the opportunity to study a 9th qualification. At this stage, I'll just take a pause and I'll ask if anybody would like to ask any questions. Okay, thank you. We'll just move on. So the curriculum structure, students are studying 8 GCSEs, as we've said. They're studying 4 subjects from our core, 4 or 5 subjects from our core curriculum and 4 subjects from our optional curriculum. The core subjects, either English language and English literature or English language only, and maths. Other core subjects are preparation for adult life, or non-exam learning for life and work, RE, and personal development and employability skills, and that's for some students. And then we have some enrichment subjects, non-exam PE, and careers, education, information, advice, and guidance. As I said, pupils will study 4 subjects from the list of those that are available. All departments in De La Salle College offer at least 1 GCSE or a level 2 course. Now, just a wee word on this, some courses require pupils to be at a high level. For example, GCSE PE, pupils need to be good at 3 sports and physical activities. So that would normally mean that they need to be members of teams and clubs and playing regularly at a high level. The Year 10's got a presentation today in which the head of PE was explaining that to the pupils. So when you're choosing your courses, make sure that you're being realistic about the choices that you're making, because you will need to have some area of proficiency in some of the subjects prior to taking it at GCSE level. One other point I would like to make is some courses won't happen due to low demand and or timetabling constraints. So that might be, I'll come to that later because we'll be asking you to select some reserve choices for that reason. So we've already through the list of subjects that are available. That's just another slide explaining what the or showing the table of subjects and what they are. But a word on the level 2 options. GCSEs aren't for everyone. They're too academic and would prefer more coursework or practically based subject. So where possible, in addition to GCSE subjects, our aim here is in De La Salle College to offer courses that are recognized as being equivalent to GCSE, of course, and are more suited to the needs of many of our pupils. Workforce training, they provide occupational studies qualifications, an area where the required facilities may not be available, for example, in motor vehicle mechanics. And a wee word about the Prince's Trust, it's equivalent to 2 GCSEs. It's 100% coursework, and it does also include a work experience unit. So the Year 10 report, this is the information that we use. We have looked at the Year 10 full report that you would have received a few weeks ago. The pupils have completed a number of standardized tests, as I've mentioned before, the SEA adaptive tests in maths and English, and the cognitive abilities tests. So we have a very good understanding of the strengths and interests and needs of our pupils. And from those documents, we have an idea of where your son is ranked for his age group, not just in his year group in De La Salle College, the grade that he's most likely to achieve in each of those subjects, and his percentage chance of achieving a grade C or better in each subject. But I'd just like to point out these tests and all this data is an indication of ability and not attitude. So Key Stage 4 qualifications, GCSEs and Level 2s, are also a test of attitude. Your subject teachers and your form teachers and head of the year are in an ideal place to help guide you and the pupils making these decisions. Just a word on the option form. There are 3 different option forms. There's a gold option form, a red option form, and a blue one. You'll be sent the relevant link to your option form direct to your phone. You do not need to submit until early next week. And if I could just take a moment to show you the form. For example, this will be the blue pathway form. And I'll just have a quick look at it here with you. So this, you'll see it as previewed like this. We would like you to select your GCSE subjects in order of preference using this form. You'll study 4 option choices, so please select the 4 choices plus a reserve 1 and a reserve 2. And the reason why we ask for reserve 1 and reserve 2 is because it'll be allocated to you if you cannot get any of your first choices. Sometimes you can't get first choices because there's not enough demand for the course, or it clashes with another subject that you've chosen, and unfortunately they have to be timetabled together, which means they are on at the same time. Hi, sorry, is there any questions there, please? They're muted. Would you like just to ask? You've got your hand up. I can see 2 hands up. Would somebody like to ask a question at this stage? They don't. I shall continue. Okay. Double award science counts as 2 choices. Therefore, you must select this twice. The college will try to facilitate all choices, but cannot guarantee that all subjects and combinations will be available. And then please submit on or before the 25th of March, 2022. So you put in your student name, then you select your form class just by clicking on it or what have you. And then the next question is your first subject choice preference. And here is the list of subjects. So you select whichever one it is that you want to do as your first choice. Then the next question is your second subject choice preference. Again, just select which one it is. The third one, of course, the same list is available for all these questions. And then select your fourth subject choice preference. And then the next question is asking you for your reserve 1 subject choice preference. And the next question is asking you for your reserve 2 subject choice preference. Then we have some questions about what career you're currently interested in. The parent guardian name is very important, and your contact number is very important also. And then there's information about what happens next. And there's that email address if anybody has any queries after this, or indeed at any stage through this options process. That's the communication channel that will get you the most direct and quickest response regarding this. Okay, so that's the blue form for those who are in the blue pathway. The red is very similar. It's the same introduction, and it's the same questions in the same order. Select your first subject choice preference. The courses here will obviously reflect the courses which are allocated to the red pathway. Excuse me. And of course, then it's your second subject choice preference, your third, your fourth, reserve 1, and reserve 2. And again, at the same number of questions at the bottom about your career interests, contact name and number for your parents and guardians, and the email address for queries. So that's the red one. And then just have a wee quick look at the gold one, because there's something here that I need to point out. So again, it's the same introduction, but I will say that you will study either the gold. There's two types of the gold pathway form. There's the gold de la Salle option. That's for those people who want to stay in school, or the gold workforce option, but not both. Okay, so if you select the gold de la Salle option, then you'll be asked to select 2 more choices plus a reserve 1 and a reserve 2. But if you select the gold workforce option, that will be that you won't have a choice. So if again, it's you put in your student name and then your form class, and if I select the gold de la Salle option, you want to stay in de la Salle, then that opens up all these other questions for you to select an occupational studies course, and then your first subject choice preference, and then your reserve 1 choice preference, and then your reserve 2 choice preference, and then a few questions about your career interests, and again, of course, parent guardian name and contact number. And again, for those gold pathway, you've got the email address at the bottom for you to use if you have any queries. If I was to select the gold workforce option, that's it. The form immediately just asks you to submit, because that curriculum then will be sorted out. So that's just a wee quick run through the different forms and how to fill it in. This, as it says, will be sent tomorrow to your phones as a link. And then you have until Friday the 25th of March to submit. So there's no rush. It's not first come, first serve. Take your time and find out about all the different courses on offer to try and make what's called an informed decision. Okay, making a decision which after you've collected and all the information you need and done your research. Are there any questions at this stage, please?
I don't know which subject teacher to put in tonight if you do not know your son's pathway in the morning.
I've just heard a question there. I would recommend that you select each department would have a course offered. Most departments have courses offered in all 3 pathways. So if you're at this stage, if you're interested in a subject or in a department, go and have book into it this evening, just to be on the safe side. That would be the most kind of safest thing to do. Okay. So what happens next? Carefully consider the subjects on your options form. Form will be sent, as I said, via a link to the parent phone, and do not submit until you do the following. Okay, so tomorrow is our School Cloud Options event, the subject information meetings. That's how you go on to De La Salle College, schoolcloud.co.uk. Booking is now open and closes tonight. This form that was sent with the original letter that was sent last week about a parent's guide for booking appointments. So this is a step-by-step guide for how to do that. I hope you've all got that. It was sent out last week, and it explains how you're to go in and book. One thing I will say though, it's very sensitive. So whenever you're putting this information in about your details at the beginning, the details that you put in about the student have to match exactly the way we have them on our computer systems here in school. So if there's any if any Macs or any FADAs or above a letter or what have you, they might cause you not to be able to log in. So I would try different combinations. If you're not successful, try different combinations. If it's a double barrel name with a hyphen, or as I said, any McAvoy, for example, any space between the C and the E, or stuff, try different combinations, because that's usually the vast majority of problems. People not being able to log in is because of those reasons. Okay. Yeah, I've just heard a question about the booklet. The booklet will be on our website from tomorrow morning. the most up-to-date one. There is one from last year, which would be very similar, but it's not for this year. Well, it has been there for this last few weeks. So tomorrow morning, the booklet will be on our website. It's on a section on the website called Options 2022 across the top of our homepage. So, and you'll, like I says, you'll have plenty of time, a few weeks to peruse through that and get all the information you need about the different courses. The individual telephone appointments between a senior teacher and parents and pupils are happening between the 22nd and the 25th of March for those that want further guidance. Now, I know our office have been busy calling you, and I'm sure they've gone well through the list to arrange individual telephone conversations regarding the form. So if you wish, you can wait until that meeting happens before you submit. That's one-to-one with, as I said, a member of our senior teaching team and yourselves to discuss any concerns or any problems that you might have, or if you want any further guidance. So that's put in as a kind of, like I said, to try and help you as much as we possibly can, because it's not easy making these decisions, especially for those parents who are going through this for the first time. If your son is the first in the family going through year 10, it can be quite daunting. And I understand that. We all understand that here in school. So that's why that meeting's been put in place. And so, and the deadline for the return of the form is the 25th of March, and then just press submit when you fill it in on your phones or on your computers.
Somebody didn't get the letter. What would it be?
Yeah, if you haven't got the letter, we can repost it out. I wonder why. We need to check to make sure that the numbers that we have for you here in school is the correct one. So it might be an idea if that person could ring in the morning after 9 o'clock and just check the number that we have for you on our system here is the same as the one that you have, that it hasn't changed. And then we can resend the link for the letter. Okay, just a couple of moments to talk about, if any of you haven't done so yet or having difficulties going through School Cloud and booking appointments and so on. I talked about the screen a moment ago about the student details. This is very, very important that you get the details matching whatever you put in exactly the same as the way we have them here on our system. So try different ones. As I said, if you got a Max or Faddis in your name, or double-barreled names with a hyphen or hyphenated name, just try different styles until it works. So that's your first screen, and then you'll be, excuse me, the next screen will be taken to this year 10 and 12 options event. That was last year, so don't worry about that date. That's incorrect. You'll have this year's date, and then choose booking method will be the next screen. You should go for manual because then you can select the times which are more suitable to you rather than let the computer select them for you. And then you'll see choosing teachers. So these are some of the teachers that might be available. Untick a teacher or a subject that you do not wish to meet with, or choose add a teacher if there's a subject that you do wish to speak with but doesn't appear. And this next screen would be, if you added a teacher, this would be the next screen that would come up, the department, and then the actual teacher. And then when you've done that for all your teachers, then you'll be able to see, select this person here has selected all the teachers that they want to see, just by ticking on the ticks, and then you continue to book appointments. And then these are all the teachers you want to see, which you've just done. And then it's asking you here, what time do you want, or do you want to speak to the teacher at, or another way of putting it, these are the times that are available to speak to these particular teachers. And then if you want to leave a message for a teacher, that's where you put it in here. And then once you click here, your appointments will be confirmed. So please make sure you click on save. And then you will have this screen here, which shows you all your appointments in this kind of chronological order. nicely one after the other, starting and end times are kind of clearly displayed. And then you'll get a final kind of summary sheet of who you're seeing and what time they're seeing it on the subject. So as I said, option forms are going to be sent to your phones tomorrow. And the return date is Friday the 25th of March by simply pressing submit. And from 1:05 tomorrow, you'll have the opportunity to talk to and meet with subject teachers. Okay. And as you know, this will be hosted on our School Clyde account. And I think that stays open until up to 11:55 p.m. tonight, that option, that booking system. So after this meeting, it'd be a good idea if you could go on there and have a go at booking that. If anybody hasn't been successful or doesn't get on tonight, if you ring the school in the morning, and we will have our IT technicians and they'll be there to help you get through any issues, please. Okay. So if all this seems a little bit overwhelming, please be assured that you'll have all the help and support that you need to make the informed decisions. You can see the email address here at the bottom, which was on the letter that we sent out last week, with any questions and with your number, contact details, and somebody will be getting back to you. And I've just been asked about leaving the School Clyde Options event open for longer. Well, we'll have a look at that if there's a demand for it.
I got a letter, there's no link attached to the booking meetings.
Okay, I've just heard a question that there was no link, no guide to book in the School Clyde. I presume you mean this document. Okay, we'll get this sent out if we can, or we'll put it up now. So that's really all for me. Are there any other questions? I just want to say thank you very much for your attention this evening, and for agreeing to come to this. It is appreciated, and this is only the start of the process, so don't be worrying too much if there's something I've said that you don't understand. It's as I said, you all have a one-to-one conversation with a member of the senior team to help you iron out any issues.